The Mastodons of IPFW here at the Memorial Coliseum with a chance to make history in the Division I area. Good evening, I'm Dean Pantazzi along with Bill Hensley, and that history would be in wins, Bill, the most ever in the Division I era.
No question, and Dana and his staff have just done a great job of building a foundation here of Division I basketball for some great things to happen in the future.
Well, some great things have to happen tonight because this is a team they lost to by 30 the last time they saw them. Gave up 25 points off turnovers, 18 second chance points. It can't happen tonight.
No question, Dean. But, in college basketball, that happens today. A week ago, Michigan State gets beat by 31 at Purdue, and then they end up beating Wisconsin this week. So that happens in a game of college basketball today when baskets don't fall, and that's what happened. But this is a typical Dick Hunsaker team that's very well prepared and a very good defensive team. So we're going to have our work cut out for us tonight.
One of the key guys I think will be in, and he's been a key guy over the last month with this team, is the emergence of Demetrius Johnson. He has made this team so much better.
He's gotten healthy, and that's really been a key addition for him to bring him either in a starting position or off the bench, and it's really helped the rotation that Dean's been trying to work on all season.
11 wins if they win tonight. It's a new school record in the Division I era, but they won't want to stop here, Bill.
Exactly. Again, it's a foundation for the future. We've got to try to get as close to a winning season as we can. For the three seniors, they've done a great job with their leadership roles. Even though we've had an up and down season at this point in time, we're really on a roll right now.
We will hope that you stay tuned for a very exciting night of basketball, and what we hope is winning basketball. We'll be right back.
I guess I'm like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's gotta feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, one university, two great names.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on two very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction and get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV 5.
It's IPFW Mastodon Basketball, live from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Brought to you by College 5 Sports on My Network. Digital broadcast 33.2, Comcast 252.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dean Pantazzi along with Bill Hensley calling the action in this men's college basketball game between the Wolverines of Utah Valley State and the IPFW Mastodons. Referees for tonight's game, Bro Borowski, Brian Enslinger, and Sam Gibson. And Bill, we've got a situation here where we look at the scouting report and two things stick out of everything we saw on every player. Good closeouts, allow no penetration, and a third one contest shots.
No question. It's a typical Dick Hunsaker team. Great half-court defense. They really kind of build their whole defensive philosophy around being toughness, getting through screens, fighting through screens, and just in a tough defensive game.
You have a situation where you're going to see a lot of shot fakes in this one, too, and apparently that's a Dick Hunsaker signature as well.
No question. It's really sound fundamental of basketball. The interesting thing is their leading scorer, Ryan Tolson, comes off the bench, but he's an excellent scorer. He's averaged about 15 points a game, but Dick feels that he's better utilized coming off the bench.
We have the starting lineups. They're being introduced to the crowd right now. If we wanted to give them to you, we could, and we will do that. The Dons are being introduced as we speak. I believe they are. Yes, they are. But we'll go with the Dons starting lineup first. They'll go with the guard, Jakari Johnson, a 6'4" sophomore out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. The other guard will be Chris Perkins. Actually, they put the Utah Valley lineup for us, so we'll go with that. Actually, I do not believe those are the guys that we have in our starting lineup. So let's take that off. We'll just tell you verbally who they are. The guards will be Matt Peterson and Chris Bailey. The forwards, David Heck and Peter Brown, and the center, Jordan Grady. And for the Dons, they will start tonight: Jakari Johnson, Justin Hawkins, Chris Perkins, and Tyler Best and Jerron Burrows. So we're about ready to go. Dons huddling it up for one last time out near the lane in front of their bench. They will move to the basket in front of our perch here at the sidelines of the Memorial Coliseum. This is a team that they're going to face right now that if they do not allow them to do the things that they have dialed up in this pregame and in the scouting report, they can be successful. If they let one or two of those slip, they will not be successful tonight.
There is absolutely no margin for error tonight because they play a flawless game of basketball. And again, hopefully this home court advantage with a good crowd behind us and obviously getting used to these basketball rims. We've shot the ball the last 3 games extremely well. Hopefully we get off to a great fast start tonight.
So we will have David Heck for Utah Valley and Jerron Burrows for IPFW jumping it up as we're ready to go with basketball here at the Memorial Coliseum. Don's looking for win number 11 on the season. It would be a new record for the school in the Division I era. And the tip is not a great toss. Volborowski apparently because he got hit in the elbow. But let's move on from that, and we have Creech Bailey with the ball. Hands it off now to Peter Brown on the wheel. We move it out to David Heck. Inside, and boy, they just moved it very well that time, and Peter Brown just had an easy bucket inside.
Great half-court set right there.
Well, there's a lesson you got to take right away. Obviously, there was a basic thing of what they were trying to do in the pregame scouting report to avoid. Tyler Best spins, feeds inside. Burrows has the shot blocked away. He had a great boot, but he recovers in the corner. They'll reset right now. Burrows backing in, backing down on the baseline, fakes up, fakes twice, goes glass, puts it in. I don't think he was going to give it up at all one way or the other on that one.
He's become very confident, Dean. The progress he's made since November is just outstanding.
And he didn't let that block affect him, which
exactly.
was a good thing. Utah Valley with the ball. They'll work it out now. Heck on the left side. They'll see Brown there. He'll hand it off to Bailey. Back to Heck. Comes into the lane. 14-footer is way short. Grabbed out of there by Burrows, and here they come. Up the course is Perkins. Chris driving into the lane. Kick back outside. Out top now. Now Jakari Johnson has it on the left. He'll go a couple times. Gives it off to Perkins. He'll drive baseline. Spin there. Turnaround jumper. Back of the rim no good. Rebounded out of there by Utah. But Perkins takes it back. He is fouled going back up for the shot. They got a little bit of a problem there. Then I'll tell you what. There is a complaint being lodged by Chris Bailey that he was fouled, and I'm not sure it's unfounded. But Chris Perkins will go to the line. Some great hustle there to get that ball back in the turnover, and he'll shoot 2. Chris Perkins on the year, a 68% free throw shooter, and he has the first one. Number 2 is on its way shortly. Dick Hunsaker doing some early politicking with Bo Borowski over here. As Perkins hits them both and doubles the lead up to 4-2. So let's bring it up court slowly this time. As let's see what they come up with this time. They've come up with a couple of different sets in the first 2 possessions. Bailey crosses over. Heck has it. Now back into the corner. Bailey back to Heck. All this on the left side. Hawkins on him. Bailey, top of the key to Peterson. Back to Heck. Bailey picks it up. Had a little step move there. Back outside Heck will bomb the 3 ball. Rims it out no good. Rebound Jakari Johnson. Dons want to run it up a little. Want to push it up. Perkins. Little stop. Little stutter move. Kicks back outside Hawkins. Now Tyler Best spins in the lane. Has no opening. Back outside Perkins. To Jakari Johnson. Gets a screen from Burrows. Still has the move. Burrows sending him another screen. A little pick and roll there as Burrows gets inside. Oh, Best had a great shot, but it didn't hold on to the pass. Back outside. Jakari Johnson for 3. No good. Partially blocked and rebounded out of there by Peterson.
We didn't get anything out of that. It was great ball movement, great player movement on the half court by the Dons.
Well, I kind of wonder when they pushed it up, they really didn't push the issue to go to the basket. They sort of settled back into the half-court game. Bailey spinning nicely, puts it up, no good. Rebound out of there, Jakari Johnson. Here they come. Jakari up the right side. Actually, that's Perkins. Excuse my mispronunciation. As Perkins will hit the fadeaway from about 14 feet.
We had great 4 balance there, Dean. Our primary and secondary break is there. Like you said, we're not forcing the issue. We're taking advantage of what they're giving us.
And right there, what they gave him was an opportunity to take it right away. Jakari almost batted it away, kept by Brown, who takes it from the top of the key. Bends it no good. They're having trouble shooting the ball, but there's a rebound out of there by Bailey. Gets it back to Peterson. Here is Heck. Fakes. Hawkins in the lane. Didn't get fouled. I thought Hawkins kind of fell on him and got away with one. Hit Brown to Bailey. Peterson left side, drives baseline, picked up there and fouled, and that'll go against Jakari Johnson. Kind of bumped him a little bit. Not a lot, but he did.
The last 3 or 4 games, we've had really good balance in our transition offense as well as our half-court offense, and obviously we've been shooting the ball extremely well.
Inbound to Heck puts it up no good. Jakari Johnson with a rebound. Utah's getting one shot.
Yeah, one shot only.
Perkins quickly into the forecourt. On the run all the way. Pulls with a short jumper that is short. And it's on the floor. Batted out of there off the ground by Heck.
Not a point guard mentality there, Dean.
Yeah, he didn't give it up. And he really didn't have the good shot. Peterson. That goes now to Heck. To Brady.
Just outstanding half-court defense for the Dons. Hands, movement, fighting through screens. Just
Troyer, the new man in the ball game, gets it. Now off down to the baseline. Jordan Brady will bank it off the glass. They better hit those one shot because they're only getting one. And it's a 6-4 ball game. Jakari fakes his man, fakes him badly, feeds inside. Jerron has an easy shot, and he banked it off the glass too hard, and he knows it. Unfortunate, and it's rebounded out of there by Jordan Brady. Up ahead to Heck. Now crossing over to Troyer. He'll bomb from 3. It's no good. Rebound out of there again. One shot. Jakari with the rebound to Perkins. And they're going to slow it down and work the half court a little bit. Looks like a strict man-to-man, Bill.
no question.
Perkins on a baseline Heck of the piece to right, and stealing away. This is Heck, guarding away, and nice. Oh, they got him. I thought it was a good grab from behind, but it was with the body that the foul was called on Justin Hawkins. Heck just made a good play on a kind of a sloppy pass. And we have an official's timeout. We'll be back with more Mastodons basketball in just a moment.
I've gone away to a college where the class size is small.
I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to our website. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes, and many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Join head coach Dane Fife on College 5 for the Dane Fife Show, featuring highlights and insights on the Mastodons from the coach and his guests. Mike Moss hosts the show on Wednesdays at 7, Fridays at 7, Saturdays at noon on CATV 5. Play back in now. Both of these teams having a little bit of a problem with the shooting. 25% for Utah Valley, 28% for the Dons. So offense has not been the story so far here, as the first free throw is up and in by Heck.
And it's interesting, Dean, we've not seen Tolson yet, the leading scorer for Utah. He's averaging 25 minutes a game and 15 points, but he's not been in the game yet.
So far, so good. Heck hits the second one and ties the game. It's 6-4. That's 6-6. That's right, 6-6. Perkins into the forecourt. He's picked up there by Josh Olson, who's checked into the game. And also into the game for the Dons is DeWitt Scott, who bombs away from 3 and wastes no time making an effect.
Great shot for Scotty.
Dick Hunsaker is furious. If there's anything that is not a secret about the Dons, it's DeWitt Scott in the 3-ball. He puts him up 9-6 with his first 3 of the night. Troyer gives it off to Brady. He'll bomb a long one. That's no good. And once again, it's one shot, and Perkins has the rebound. Runs it in, has no numbers, but he takes it in anyway. Off glass, bad shot. Rebounded out of there by Brady. He needed to rethink that one, and he probably will the next trip. Troyer, right side, loses control of the ball, but gets it. Not Olson. On to the left side, they'll get it to Peterson. Long bomb, top of the key. That's a 3-ball. And that'll go in by Troyer. And even the game up at 9.
We've got to bring Demetrius in. Chris has just not made good decisions at the point guard spot, I don't think.
Karnak, look who's coming in over here.
Oh, good. Good.
He just checks in. He'll be in at the next stop. Don's with the ball now. It is Best out top. Tries to drive through, and he is bumped there and fouled by Brady. And we will see the entrance of Demetrius Johnson for IPFW, and also the entrance of both Joe Walker and the guy you were talking about, Ryan Toulson.
Ryan's shot He's their leading three-point shooter, shooting 44%, and has taken 145 threes in the season.
So it looks like both these coaches have a mentality of bringing some key players in off the bench.
They run 8 deep, and if you look at our roster, we run 8 deep. So it's amazing how similar we are in both stats as well as rosters.
Zelko Agaric also into the game now. Demetrius Johnson off to Quentin Carruthers, who has also checked into the game. This is pretty much of a wholesale substitution for the Dons. Zelko up top, hands to DeWitt for 3. That one's a little short and rims out, and it's rebounded out of there by Joe Walker, who's into the game. Into the forecourt is Toulson. He'll give it off to Olsen, top of the key. That's Peterson with the ball. Back to Toulson. He has not launched a shot yet. He's only been in for 1 possession. He likes to throw him up there, though. Into the corner. Waking on the wheel, it is Walker. He'll go up over and score on Egerick for his first 2. And the Dons move it up quickly. Demetrius Johnson off to Zelko Egeric, to Carruthers. He'll fake at the top of the key. Now bomb from the top of the key and bang it down. Hugh has his first 2. And the Dons have tied it at 11. Olsen onto the right side. Now back top of the key to Peterson. Peterson backs down, has no opening. Goes back outside to Olsen. And we have a whistle underneath, and it looks like Egeric is going to draw a personal foul if I've got my positioning correct, and that will be the call. Kind of held his man a little bit. So Utah Valley will inbound with Olsen to trigger. 13:01 to go in the first half of a 11-11 tie. Outside, ball fake by Peterson. They're going to do that all night. He'll drive with it this time. No good, but inside for the rebound is Walker, who's up and no good, but he's going to the line after being fouled. And DeWitt Scott gets the foul.
Dean, the first 7 minutes, a very well-played ball game. The Dons have 1 turnover. Utah has no turnovers. It's just a well-played game in terms of execution on both ends. It's going to be a dogfight all night long.
The one fallacy in that, the shooting is still not great. 36% for the Dons, 33% for the Wolverines.
You know, this arena is not a good shooting arena. It's very difficult to get your shooting eye in here, particularly when there's no backdrops behind both baskets.
So we will have Walker with his second shot, and that one is good, and gets them back in front at 12-11. So Walker on the board with his 3rd point. Demetrius into the lane, comes up, scoops it in, and he is called for an offensive foul. Laying a little bit out of control, and he hit the deck hard. But he's up, and he is still ticking, and we're going to have a change in possession on what amounts to be a turnover. Utah Valley with a 1-point lead and the ball, and into the forecourt comes Olsen. Comes to the right side, comes back out to Peterson, top of the key. Carruthers on him. Flashing through is Troyer to Toulson. Olsen now with the ball. Peterson, top of the key, Toulson. Working on DeWitt Scott there. Hands off to Troyer. Zelko on him. Cuts back inside. Going to the low post to Walker. He'll try to go to work now on Best. Work on Best. Bump Best. Puts the shot up. Got it to go. No arc on it, but it went through. And quickly the Dons are into the forecourt, not wasting any time. This is as quick a transition team as I've seen in the Dons this year. Here's Carruthers bombing away, way long, but it's rebounded out of there by Demetrius Johnson. He was tied up. Actually, it was a pretty decent steal by Troyer, and they called it a jump ball, so that was a thing that worked out pretty well. We have a timeout on the floor, 14-11 Utah Valley. We'll be back with more Mastodon basketball in just a moment.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
For tickets to IPFW athletic events, call 260-481-6000 or go to the IPFW athletic website at gomastodons.com, 260-481-6000, or online, gomastodons.com. Inbounds comes as the Dons have the basketball on the alternate possession off the tie-up. Carruthers into the lane, stops. 13-footer is way short. It's an air ball and grabbed out of there by Walker. Up to Olson. Kind of a little bit more of a deliberate attack on this trip for the Utah Valley Wolverines. He'll look and find Heck, who's back into the ball game, guarded out there by Scott. He'll give it to Olson. Olson picked up out there by Carruthers. Back to Heck. Top of the key, long bomb on its way by Troyer, and he knocked it down. And Dane Fife is furious about some defensive lapses out there, and he's going to get Jerron Burrows back into the game. Here's Demetrius Johnson. Goes to Scott on the right side. Top of the key, that is Best. Lose a little bit of a wheel. Scott gets the ball back. Kicks back outside in the right corner. Back inside, Zelko will go off glass, no good, but he is fouled. And I believe Burrows may be the one going in for him, so he'll have to wait here because Zelko's going to shoot 2 free throws.
Dean, we've gotten behind because we've been very quick in our half-court offense, not taking the good high-percentage shots. And we've been looking for that point guard leadership all season long to stay in our offense, make 4 or 5 passes, and break the defense down.
First shot by Egerick is no good.
And then, like you said, we've had a couple defensive lapses here of wide-open threes.
And some really hard shots off the window. I mean, you're not letting the window be your friend. Garrick with the second one, and he's got that one for his first point, and he will come out of the game. Hawkins will check back in. I kind of thought Burrows was going to come in, and they sat him back down.
Pulling back.
Interesting. Well, let's face it, Hawkins is a steadily influence out there, and right now they need his toughness on defense. Into the forecourt, we have Heck with the ball, right side. They're really battling inside. Walker and Hawkins are really battling him. Hawkins is playing him tough even though he's outside, and he just forced a bad shot. That's just the way Hawk plays defense.
Exactly. Got a lower body into him, got his hands up, and it was a very, very difficult shot.
Well, he plays with purpose. I mean, everything he does is with purpose. There is no wasted effort out there by Justin Hawkins. Here's Demetrius Johnson, picked up outside by Olson. Johnson left alone. Carruthers stops, ball fake, comes into the lane, dumps it up, leaves it off the left hand. I don't know what that was, but he came in and made it good on his own tip.
Had no stats on that shot.
Well, if they hadn't converted that, boy, he would have been in the doghouse.
On the bench.
Troyer goes inside, and there's an easy put in by Walker that he missed. Back outside, it's lost on the floor, and here comes Carruthers into the forecourt left side. Leaves off to Johnson. Demetrius, left side. Now comes to Scott for a 3-ball. Rack it up.
Smooth.
Tie game.
Smooth as silk. That's 2 for 3 from the three-point line.
Well, it was smooth on the shot. The execution getting to the shot wasn't exactly smooth, but the result was just terrific. Toulson, right side. Outside, it'll be Troyer. They'll go inside looking for Walker. He can't get the shot up, puts it up again. That time it worked. They denied him once, they didn't deny him twice. He's a strong man inside, has a good effort, makes good effort every time down. Here is Best, has it batted away from him, got a little sloppy. Tyler, you're not supposed to be handling the ball. That's what the guards are for. A long bomb by Toulson, and that is going to drive the coach crazy. That just is unfortunate.
5-point swing there.
Well, Tyler is a center, and we all know at most one dribble for them, and that's it. And we're going to have a timeout as Dane Fife has called for a timeout. And we're going to have a 30 or they're going to take a 30, so we'll keep it here. Looking again at the shooting percentages, starting to pick up for Utah Valley because they're starting to hit the inside shots, and their 3 balls in the last few trips, Bill, have been just deadly. I mean, they've been getting good open shots.
They are an excellent three-point shooting team, shooting almost 40% as a team. They've got a couple shooters shooting over 40%, so they are a dangerous three-point shooting team, particularly in transition.
And then you have Mr. Scott, who generally is deadly in the three-point area, and knocked that one down there. But Utah Valley has started to step it up a little bit. The ball movement has improved considerably, and most importantly, the shooting. And the shooting is everything. You're not hitting the shots. That's what you take to the bank.
And we're not going to get second chance points here, so we've got to be flawless in execution, particularly from the turnovers.
They got to settle down. I mean, over the last 5 minutes, the Dons have been a very unsettled basketball team, especially in the offensive end. Demetrius Johnson is plays back in, comes through traffic, hands off to Hawkins for 3. Count it. Boy, when they need it, he usually brings it up. Racks up his first 3 of the night, and it's a 2-point ball game. Into the forecourt is Bailey, who's back into the game. Hands off to Brady. Guarded out there by Best. To Brown. Long bomb on its way by Toulson, and that is good. They're just something else, and now the Dons throw it away in their own end. And Utah Valley has another chance to up the lead back. Dons getting a little too sloppy for their own good. They're going to have a problem with that. And Dane Fife doesn't know what the answer is. He just came out of a timeout. Now they throw it away, and the Dons will have it. And Dane says, let's settle down. Or words to that effect. Johnson into the forecourt. Goes to Lepper, who's into the game. Pat Lepper seeing his first action of the night. Demetrius Johnson left side, goes low post. Not a real good shot. And unfortunately, he was bailed out because Jordan Brady, after making the steal, stepped on the sideline.
We shouldn't be making soft, sloppy passes this late in the season.
Well, and now Perkins is going to come into the game as Dane Fife is saying, do I have a point guard that is going to run my offense? So far tonight, through 12 minutes, the answer is no.
Nope, and we've been looking for that leadership all season.
Somebody needs to be stepping up in that point guard position.
We've got 2 coming next fall.
Yeah, but they're not here tonight. They can only help in future looking. Perkins to Scott, right side. He'll try to ball moving a little bit. Guard out there by Peterson. He'll move into the lane. Fake his man up, put up a shot that's way out. Had to beat the shot clock and didn't do it. Little too much razzle-dazzle out there, and it leads us to another media timeout. 22-20 Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a bit.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy, with affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, your graduate university.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Mentioned in the pregame, the Dons gave up 18 points off turnovers in the first meeting. And so far, they've given up 7 tonight, and this is not good. Actually, it was 25 points off turnovers, 18 second-chance points. But the case of the matter is they've given up way too many points on the turnovers, and they trail by 2, and without those points, they'd have the lead.
And that's really what's happened in the last 4 minutes. Our turnovers have been the telltale.
Utah Valley to trigger underneath. Quick movement in by Toulson, and boy, I'll tell you why. He is instant offense off that bench. Toulson has knotted up 7 points already.
And can make hard shots.
Perkins motions for Scott to step on over. Instead, he gives it to Hawkins. He'll cross it over to Lepper. Had the shot, but somebody came out and got him right away, and that was Mr. Toulson, who was playing it on the defensive end as well. Scott between the rings gives to Lepper, who can throw that 3 ball up as well. That one's off the front of the rim, and it's no good, and grabbed up by Chris Bailey. Here comes Utah Valley again. Toulson on the left side gets a screen there, and a little bit of a loving Brown elbow screen. He missed the shot, and Perkins has the rebound, and he'll run it into the forecourt. Crosses over to Lepper. He'll take another try at a 3, and this one is good. And the Dons have crept back within 1 at 24-23 on Pat Lepper's first 3 points of the night. Quid Carruthers ready to come back in for IPFW at the next stoppage. This is Bailey. Goes look to the left right side to Brown. To Peterson. Picked up out there by Lepper. Has a cutter, it's Toulson. this time they got him out there, and they had somebody out there to get him with Scott. Working on the baseline is Brady. Back outside, it is Bailey. Good defense this time by the Dons. Toolson on the right side gets away from Scott. Now he picks up inside. No, three guys came out to pick up Toolson, and he just laid it off to Brady for an easy 2. That's just good offensive execution and taking advantage of what you got.
Great spacing, good screening.
Scott, right side. Had Lepper. Lepper said, I was ready, but he didn't get the pass. Instead, it goes to Hawkins. Got on cutting Perkins. Inside the Best. He'll go on underneath. He is blocked over to the back. It is a great play, and it was not a foul. Bailey just made a great play. And Bailey's into the forecourt. That was not so good a play. He tried to come through traffic that wasn't there. Now the Dons give it right back. Perkins tries to get it back, and who's going to get the ball? Dons will. Nobody wanted the ball there for about 10 seconds. Carruthers goes back in. Scott comes out. Egerich comes in. Or Garrett. I got to get that right. Garrett comes in. Kid's been in town for 3 years. I'm going to get this right sooner or later. And Zelko will hand it off, and Perkins will bring it up. And the Dons, down 3, can tie it with a triple. Lepper comes to the top of the key. Bounced out there hard by Brady, no call. Garrett, Carruthers cuts into the lane. Back outside. Ball was deflected and taken off the floor by Troyer. Had a good idea with the pass, but somebody just slipped into the lane. Outside, Heck. He'll bomb a 3 ball. Rim's no good. Perkins with the rebound. Dons need to settle it down again. Gives it to Garrett. Zelko out there saying, somebody come and help. Gets it off to Perkins, feeds inside nicely to Carruthers, who will move into the lane. The little jump hook is no good. I don't know how that all of a sudden got in. That looked like it was coming back out. And Carruthers is on the board with his 6th point. And the Dons have cut within 1 at 26-25. Bailey works right side. Perkins on him. Off to Troyer. Light side to Peterson. Crosses. He's got Heck outside. Cutting through was Peterson. He didn't get the ball. It is Troyer now at the top of the key. Picked up there by Hawkins. And all over him is Hawkins. Hands to Bailey. Comes into the lane. Way long, no good. They were running out of time on the shot clock anyway. Had to hurry the shot. It was no good. And here comes Perkins.
That's a great defensive set for us, Dean.
Now let's follow it with an offensive set. Perkins giving it off to Hawkins on the left side. Garrick inside. Had an open Lepper, but give the credit to Peterson for making a nice recovery to knock that out of bounds. 4:13 to go here in the first half. 26-25 Utah Valley. Perkins, or should we say Hawkins comes out. And Jerron Burroughs checks back in for the Dons. Also coming in is Brett Ravenberg from Utah Valley, and this, I believe, is his first time out on the floor. He'll come in for Brady. So this is a little bit bigger lineup than Utah Valley has put in there before. And Scott will come back in, and Lepper will come back out. A little chess game going on in substitutions. Scott will trigger right in front of us. Nobody moving. Somebody's got to move to get it. Finally, it's Burroughs who does. Hands to Perkins. Chris will come to the right side, uses a screen by Garrett, comes inside, has no shot, but he's going to try and take it anyway, and that's why he's a player and I'm a talker. He knew he had it, dropped it in from about 10, and the Dons have the lead at 27-26. Pass almost goes through the hands and almost a travel on Heck, but no call, and we play on. Peterson. Now it comes to Troyer in the left corner, and he hits a 3, and boy, they're starting to load it up from that outside. That is their 4th triple in 10 tries. Garrick feeding inside to Burroughs. The pass was a little too low, and it's stolen away. Into the forecourt comes Olsen. Utah Valley with the lead now by 2 and trying to add to it. Hands to Peterson. To Troyer. Top of the key, Heck. Scott on him. Hands to a moving Josh Olsen, and they'll reset with 18 to shoot. Perkins picks him up. Hands back to Troyer. Drives on Burroughs. Fades from 10 in the lane and got it. And now it's a 4-point lead. 31-27 Utah Valley. Don's reverting a little bit of a helter-skelter game. Garrick trying to dribble the basketball. I don't know why the big guys want to do that.
We can't have our bigs dribbling out there. We set up from the get-go.
Well, part of it is nobody's out there to help him out. We have an officials timeout, a 31-27 lead for Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a minute.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Warning, ruthless invaders are among us, and the future of fishing depends on stopping them dead. Only you can prevent invasive species from spreading before it's too late. Inspect, clean, and drain your boat, motor, and live wells, and properly dispose of invasive species on land, not back in the water. Stop these evil menaces from taking over and threatening our precious outdoor heritage. Inspect, clean, and drain. Do your part to halt the silent invasion.
So we're back here with 31-27 the score. Utah Valley 3:02 to go here in the first half. Latest Mastodon scores and stats available on the World Wide Web at WorldMastodons.com. Check up on the teams, players, and order tickets at the Mitchell Mastodons Athletic website. We're back in with action. Scott to Perkins. Carruthers left side, goes a move, does another move, tries to get away from Toulson. Now gives it back to Scott, who comes into the lane, puts up a little bank shot that's good, and he's going to go to the line. Not usually the forte of a Scott shot, but he knew that if he was going to make something happen, it would have to be inside because they're going to get on him real close on the outside.
Fortunately, we've been matching him on the threes. We're shooting well, great percentages there. The whole difference here has been the turnovers, and if we could just match these guys point for point and get a stop here, we're going to win this ball game.
Well, Scott just hit his 9th point. 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and the Dons are within one again. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the first half as Josh Olson brings it up. And a set shot for the Utah Valley guys. They blow inside with a nice pass. Up and no good there by Brady, but he was fouled as he got his man in the air. And the man was Carruthers, and really didn't have any choice because that was really a great lob pass. And one of the things that they said in the scouting report, they like to use the lob as much as they can because their guys get great spacing inside and know how to get themselves free.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Dick Hunsaker's team's been noted for. Great spacing, great half-court execution.
Brady hits the first one. Brady on the year a 57% free thrower. So statistically, that's not terrific, but he's hit the first one and he tries for number 2. And that one's good as well. So it's a 33-30 lead for Utah Valley, and the Dons will try to cut that back down again. Perkins comes to the left side. Scott plays inside to Tyler Best, who quickly draws a double team. Goes back outside. Carruthers traveled as he tried to get through. And the turnover will give the ball right back to Utah Valley with 2:19 to go in the first half, and the Dons a 3-point trailer.
That's the first entry pass that we've made inside without a turnover in the last 5 minutes.
While they've been having all kinds of good success with entry passes. Josh Olson to Troyer. Goes outside, top of the key to Brady. Troyer has it back now to Olson. Olson finds an open man. Had Heck open, but had tried to go with the basketball before he actually had it in his hands. Kicked it out of bounds. Dons get it on the turnover with 2:04 to go. Turnover number 4 for Utah Valley. They've actually taken pretty good care of the basketball.
This is a key 2-minute stretch right here, Dean, as far as not letting them extend their lead at halftime.
Troy leading them with 11. Scott leading the Dons with 9 as Carruthers tries to fake his man into the lane, feeds low inside to Best. Actually not a great pass because the bounce pass ended up right at his feet, and we all know you got to fix that angle a little better or that ball's not going to end up in his hands. And the turnover gives the ball back to Utah Valley with 1:44 to go in the first half.
Again, 8 turnovers to the Dons and 4 turnovers for Utah. That's the difference in the ball game.
Dick Hunsaker, you saw him there pacing the sidelines. Used to pace those very same sidelines in front of the Queen Fury bench, if you can recall, Bill. And here we go. Josh Olson moving over inside, left side. And we will keep it moving. Here's a bomb on its way by Toulson that is good. Another one, and he's got it knocked down. 36-30.
Kid can flat out score.
Okay, here we go. Up the shot is no good. And the ball is out of there. Josh Olson has the rebound. 1:07 to go. Gets to Peterson. Spinning in the lane. They've almost lost it. Now all of a sudden, here's Brady all alone. Had the shot. It's up. It's no good. And Best has the rebound. Here we go inside. It's Perkins. On its way. It's up. It's no good. Tapped out of the air and grabbed by Utah Valley. And they almost to the point where they can take pretty much the rest of this clock down in the first half. They have a 6-point lead. And this is Olson with the basketball. Hands off to Peterson. Back to Olson. To Troyer. And they're going to wheel it out there and take as much of this clock off as possible. Bombs away from the corner. Back of the rim, no good. Hawkins has the rebound, and he knocked 3 people over, and they're going to have, that's a good call. That was not on Justin Hawkins. That was on Toulson for stepping right in and not really establishing himself. But are we in the bonus? We are not. I thought that would have done it. That, according to they've got the fouls up there right. That would be the 7th team foul. And they only have measured for 6. So I guess it isn't. So we will just play on. Comes into Demetrius Johnson back in to run the point as Dane Fife again continuing to find somebody that's going to run the point right. Dons have 18 seconds to get the last shot off and get this a little closer than 6 points. Johnson crosses near the center line, guarded out there by Olson. Looks like he wants to make the play himself. He's going to make him in. Moves it in, bounces it off his foot and out of bounds, and now it'll be 5.1 seconds for Utah Valley to do something with it. Not a good situation as the Dons commit their 10th turnover of the first half. In the court it comes. It's Olson on the move. Goes around Johnson. Tries to move around Johnson. Fades in the lane and drops it in at the buzzer and count it. 38-30 is our first half score. Last 5 minutes, the better team was the team wearing yellow, Bill.
And with 2 minutes to go, we're down 3 points, and we've let that lead extend. We've had 3 turnovers. We never got one look at the basket. Just a very, very sloppy 2 minutes of basketball game.
Well, they're going to have to recover it and talk in the locker room is just how they're going to fix the situation. 38-30 Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a moment.
I guess I'm like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Nothing gets my blood pumping more than a packed stadium, fans cheering, and the swish of a perfect basket. When I was diagnosed with colon cancer, it became an eerie silence. Early detection helped me, and it can help you too. Today, colon cancer can be treated with minimally invasive surgery, which will get you back in the game sooner than open surgery. I want you to meet my friend, Dr. Michael Harris, who's joined me in the fight.
Good one, Coach. Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the 2nd largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Hey, what?
Rede.
Mir. Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen. Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Okay, we're back here at halftime. The 38-32, the score. The officials waiting here with us as they're trying to rack up a replay. We are having a little bit of a discussion as to whether or not the first ending shot was good and beat the buzzer. To our naked eye, it looked like it was okay, but they're going to replay it here. And gentlemen, here we go. I tell you, you got to go further forward, guys. That's a minute 30 in. Okay, they're gonna rack it up real quick. Okay, you're going backwards. Keep going. We're doing the technical part of this on the air as we speak. They're going to get it to they need to get it to about the 15-second line as the officials are racking it up. So the boys took it back there in the back room, and they're going to take it about to the 15-second line of the end of the first half to give them the shot that they need to see. Hopefully we can get that here pretty quickly, and we'll keep an eye on the monitor here. Bill, they're coming back in here, gentlemen. Talking to the referees, Bo Borowski taking a headshot right now. And here we go. Hit it right there, fellas, and they're going to study it right now. And here it comes. Roll the shot. And we're going to see it in slow motion. You see if that shot ended up beating the clock. And the word up here is that it did. Looks like it did very close. And now they're going to discuss. They asked for it one more time. So let's see. Okay, back, and here we go, and forward, and let us see if we've got it. And it looks like he got it off. It's a good shot. So glad we could help you. Sorry for the delay. Cut into their halftime time a little bit. I'll tell you what, that's a tough call because that ball, it was still casting a shadow on his hand when he let that thing go. And that was not something that was very easily discussed. But give the credit to the officials, even though it's a shot that only changes the game from 6 to an 8-point game and it's only halftime, they want to get it right.
Exactly.
And that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
And getting it right, Bill, is what they're busy doing right now in the locker room for the IPFW Mastodons.
This game in the last 5 minutes has come down to turnovers, and we've got the players to be able to execute in a half course. We've got to have half-court leadership with our point guard position and run our offense the right way and cut down on these real sloppy turnovers. And most of them come, Dean, from our post feeds, and that's something we've not seen the last 3 or 4 games from the Dons.
Well, what you had here, Bill, is it's like 3 mini games in the first half where the Dons came out and played it pretty even with Utah Valley in the first 5 minutes and then got a little sloppy on both ends. And it wasn't just the offensive side where we were bringing up on repeated times that the point guards were not really running the offense. It got a little sloppy on the defensive end, too, and it just wasn't inside. It was outside. It was working the wings. It was just about everything, and that's where Utah Valley, especially from about 8 to 7 minutes left to go in the first half on in, had their problems, causing the problems for the Dons.
This is a 19-7 ball club. They have one half the turnovers of their opponents, and there's a reason for that. They do not turn the ball over in the half court, and with that, then, those extra possessions is really the difference in the ball game, and that's what it is at this point in time. Those 4 or 5 extra possessions have been the difference in this ball game of the Dons being down. The good thing, though, Dean, is the Dons like to come back from being down. They like to play from behind.
It's a situation where they better because they also need to take care of the turnover situation because what you have here is a team that turned the ball over 10 times after in recent games having that many in full games. And their success for being able to take care of the ball has had a lot to do with their being on a 4-game win streak right now. The fact that they're not doing that tonight is the total 180 of that situation of having that 4-game win streak. And
neither team is getting to the free throw line. It's a very well-played defensive game. We've only shot 11 free throws in total for the game. Obviously, the threes have helped keep us in the game. But, again, we're giving up way too many possessions from a turnover standpoint, and therefore that's the difference.
So it is 38-30. The Dons trail it. They had the lead in this thing at various aspects, but never by a real lot in this game, Bill. And it was a game that was really out there for either team to grab, and with the advent of better entry passes by Utah Valley, the appearance at least that the three-point shot finally started to come their way, that's where they were able to start getting things going. And, when a team starts playing well and the other team is not playing well, that's when you start to see things go on. So, gentlemen, would we be taking? We can take a break here. I think we will take a break here. Back more basketball in just a minute.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
When it comes to dogs, cats, and kids, sharing just comes naturally. They share their toys, their beds, even their favorite snacks. But pets and people can share other things as well, like disease. Zoonotic diseases are illnesses that can be transmitted from animals to humans, like leptospirosis, or diseases that affect both people and pets, like Lyme disease. Fortunately, you can help reduce the risk by visiting your veterinarian. Your veterinarian can help protect against zoonotic disease and potentially harmful parasites. Most important, a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent health problems before they become serious. So share affection, not illness, and ask your veterinarian about zoonotic disease protection for all your loved ones. A message from the American Veterinary Medical Association and your local veterinarians.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on two very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction to get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV5.
Back at the Coliseum where the Dons trailed Utah Valley State 38-30 at halftime. We are joined now by Jeff March, women's and men's golf coach at IPFW, but we talk to you with your women's hat on now.
True.
Because you're headed for a trip, and I'm sure you were anxious to get to compete, and now you finally get to do it.
Absolutely. We get in the van tomorrow, and we get to drive down to Louisiana at Shreveport, and Centenary is hosting a women's event down there, and it's a little earlier in the year that we normally play, but it's a good tournament. Centenary is also obviously in the mid-con, so it's a good event for us to start out with.
But you get to play.
Absolutely.
That's the key element.
That's the key. We can finally get outside a little earlier than we normally have, so that when we get into March, our March tournaments, and into April, it's going to be so much better for us. And the players, the ladies, are really chomping at the bit. We've been practicing inside now for about a week, and they're ready to go. They could see it today in practice.
Yeah, get those simulators out here. Let's do the real thing.
That's right.
Talk about a few of the girls. Who are your key people?
Jillian Spees, first of all, she's a freshman out of Mishawaka, coming in and doing a very fine job her first year. She's settling down as far as getting accustomed to having to go to class and juggle a sport at the same time at the college level. And her sister, Jackie, who's a sophomore, has been doing very well again this year at the same time. Allison Rathman, who's a sophomore, played number one for us last year. Very consistent again this year, and we've been working a little bit on her swing the last week, and she's really starting to come around. And Nicole Geyer had a very good fall, one of our juniors, and I look for Nicole to have a pretty good spring.
How does the mid-con thing figure in with your sport? Is it going to help you as well in getting more matches here?
Absolutely. We already host a tournament out at Deer Track where we host both, and we're looking at now spreading it out to where we actually have both a men's and a women's individual tournaments, which will allow us, to bring in a few more teams, a few more players, and that way we can concentrate and just have the ladies go with what they need to do, and then the guys can have their tournament as well. So yeah, it's going to help us from that standpoint.
You don't get to host too many home matches, and that, in one aspect of the conference thing, is going to make that so much easier, because you will be able to, not have to get in the van so many times and not travel with this way and that way and this way.
Absolutely. And IUPUI has also started, they're planning on hosting a tournament this spring, a men's tournament. We're unfortunately not going to be able to go to that one, but Oakland in the past sometimes has hosted. So yeah, we're a little shorter drives being with MidCon, and it also helps me with scheduling. Teams that are in the MidCon are going to start sending us invitations. I've already got an invitation for Oral Roberts, and that's nice to see you come in.
Right, when you have the girls and you work them in they're women now. I've got high school girls,
right.
College women.
Yep.
How much does the simulator really help you? I mean, have the
simulator
and the way they've advanced these technologically through the years, is it now more of a usable tool than maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago?
Oh, absolutely, because with the advances in technology, it's starting to measure some of the ball spin when it actually makes contact with the screen, which then it'll project it out exactly where it's going. If you're just hitting into somewhat of a net that's only about 5 feet in front of you, it's kind of hard to see some of that ball flight. But the simulators are definitely a key, and that helps. We focus a lot of our time when we're indoors on the short game part of it. A lot of chipping and pitching and working on our putting. I'm not too much worried about their long games at this point in time, but I think once we get outside, we're gonna see some good benefits from it.
Well, enjoy the trip. It's going to be a long trip. Good luck.
Thank you.
And good luck on
Appreciate
the
it.
season as well.
Appreciate it.
Jeff Marsh, the women's basketball coach at IPFW, also the men's coach. We'll be back with more Mastodons basketball right after this.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
When it comes to dogs, cats, and kids, sharing just comes naturally. They share their toys, their beds, even their favorite snacks. But pets and people can share other things as well, like disease. Zoonotic diseases are illnesses that can be transmitted from animals to humans, like leptospirosis, or diseases that affect both people and pets, like Lyme disease. Fortunately, you can help reduce the risk by visiting your veterinarian. Your veterinarian can help protect against zoonotic disease and potentially harmful parasites. Most important, a wellness exam from your veterinarian twice a year can help detect, treat, or prevent health problems before they become serious. So share affection, not illness, and ask your veterinarian about zoonotic disease protection for all your loved ones. A message from the American Veterinary Medical Association and your local veterinarians.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on 2 very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction to get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV5.
Well, we're ready for 20 more minutes of basketball, 20 more minutes that we hope are a little bit more successful for the IPFW Mastodons, who trail in this ballgame 38-30 to Utah Valley State. Mostly off the much improved play by Utah Valley in the last 5 minutes of the first half, and a 180 the other way by the Mastodons. So we will see what we will see. Dons shooting 45% from the field, or 44% from the field from the half. Utah Valley 45%. Rebounding in favoring IPFW 17-14, and the steals 5-3, turnovers 10 for the Dons. It has not been a good game that way, and we are ready to go with second half action.
Dean, there's an old axiom in basketball that you build your offense from the inside out, and when our 3 bigs have only got a total of 3 points, you're not going to win a basketball game.
Well, they haven't been spending too much time inside where they're supposed to be. They've been trying to handle the basketball, and that's not what they're supposed to do, and I'm sure that was addressed at halftime. This is Scott between the rings, comes right side, guarded out there by Heck, goes into Burrows. Burrows backs his man down. Here's Tyler moving in, Best moving in again, double fakes, puts it up, no good. And again, really holding on to the ball too long. And he's got guys for that, so let's see what they do the next time they have it, because they've given it away. This is Brown, goes off to Brady. They're wheeling, their ball movement is very good. Their movement without the ball is excellent. Here's Heck, Scott's on him. Goes to Brown. It's on him. Back to Heck. Peterson, left side. Hands off to Bailey. Almost lost the ball, but they held on. It's 5 to shoot. They better hurry up. I'm not sure they've paid attention to that. They're finally going to launch a shot by Brown that is an air ball, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Well, part of that may have been just some good defense by the Dons.
It was good defense, but at the same time, as you said, they had good spacing, good ball movement. They run their offense the way they want to run it. Now, they ended up with a bad shot there, but it's not because they didn't try to run their offense the proper way.
Well, let's see how much room we have on this offense on down here. Here's Burrows driving on his man, denied. Kicks back outside to Hawkins, who hands to Perkins, who'll try from 18. Front of the rim, no good. Rebound out of there. I'll tell you, Best was battling 4 guys for that ball, and he got somebody over his back, and we're going to see a ball out of bounds to the Dons as Tyler Best was making a nice effort on the offensive board. And he'll trigger. Gets to Burrows. Perkins, ball fakes, no shot. Back outside, Scott. And I'll tell you what, I just noticed Scott started the second half, and that usually hasn't been the MO. I think they're trying to shake things up a little bit to see what they can do offensively.
Well, Jakari had no points the first half, and just really didn't get any kind of flow on offensive movement at all.
And also, Jakari wasn't in there very long in the first half. Inbounds pass comes to Burrows. He'll drive on his man, goes off glass. Again, bad move, but he gets his own rebound, puts that one up, and that one goes. Some of the Dons need to have a little geometry lesson on angles for the bank shots because they're really having some problems with that, but Burrows stayed with it, and that's to his credit to get in that shot and knock down the points.
To give up that offensive rebound, he's bringing Walker back in the game. Walker's done a great job the first half in keeping guys away from the basket.
Burrows now has 4. This is Peterson trying to get her open. Finally hands it off to Heck, and he'll hit the shot from about 18 feet out on the left wing. And the lead's back to 8 points. Perkins handing to Best, looking for help. Gets it off to Scott. He'll come between 2 guys, goes back out to Best. Our bigs are spending a lot of time outside today, Bill. Hawkins, Scott. They really got on him quickly. The scouting report obviously was getting in Scott's face in the three-point line. They go to Burrows. He'll drive baseline, gets around his man, and we have a block and a little bit of a moving stop there. And they're going to call the foul on Brown, and he deserves it. And he's going to come out, as will Brady. And checking back in will be Walker. And let's see who else pulled back in there. I believe Troyer came back in as well. Now Carruthers comes in. Hawkins comes out with a little bit of a limp. Let's see what that transpires with that. Inbound from Best, way outside to Carruthers. And it'll be Perkins, the point guard that is going to try it this time. Scott, Carruthers, Perkins sights the 3, comes inside the lane, goes out to Scott. Carruthers trying to get the loop inside, has it to Best. Best goes inside to Burrows. Best gets up the loose ball. Here is Scott on the baseline, hit the jumper. Nice move. And I'll tell you what, they made apples out of applesauce there. That was a tough possession to get something out of, and they finally made it work. Heck goes off to Peterson. Comes to Bailey left side. This is Troyer. Comes between 3 of the Dons. Lost control of the basketball. Well, you try and take it between 3 guys in the opposite team, you're going to have a little bit of a problem. So the turnover gives the ball back to the Dons with a chance to cut it to 4. 40-34, 16:47 remaining in the ball game. Dons set themselves up offensively. Tyler goes down on the low post right side. Ball goes to Burrows. Perkins, now the right side, looking for Best. Has him low. He'll go to work there on Walker. Back him in. Tyler just tripped, and they're going to call a travel on him, and it's the way it should have been.
Very smart defensive play by Walker, knowing that Tyler was going to try to post him up. Allowed the pressure to happen, then released it.
All right, we have opening shot, so they have a little bit of a too much spacing problem there. Peterson with the ball, goes out to the top of the key, bombs away by Troyer. That's no good. Best with the rebound, had good positioning, and the Dons will bring it up. And now we have a whistle, and we have a foul called on Burrows? Yeah. Apparently he might have gotten his emotion get a little ahead of him there. Joe Walker of Utah Valley comes over to talk to him and says, hey, I'll play it cool if you play it cool. Right now the Dons need to play it better. Down 6. Heck, left side, goes to Bailey. Guarded there by Perkins, uses a partial screen, comes on the baseline, and he is fouled going up for that shot, and it will be Perkins who draws it. It'll be his second personal foul. We have an officials timeout, 40-34, Utah Valley over IPFW. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a moment.
Mom, Dad, You know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Tyler Best on a nice handoff inside, loses control of it here, and this was the shot by DeWitt Scott on the baseline, and that possession that we talked about, that they made something from nothing. 40-34. Dons by on a 6-point deficit and trying to get the ball back once they have these free throws shot. First one up, and it is no good there by Chris Bailey, who will have another. Bailey has not scored. He'll have another shot. And now he has. And it's a 7-point lead for the Wolverines at 41-34 with 15:57 left to go in the ball game. Now it is Demetrius Johnson at the point. Musical point guards tonight for the Dons. DeWitt Scott picked up out there on a nice play by Heck. He goes inside. Johnson tries the shot up and in. He actually picked up a loose ball there, and it was just there for somebody to grab, and he was the one that grabbed it. Now the Dons with a little bit of pressure, but Utah Valley solves it pretty easily, and Heck will try the 3 ball, and that was the end of that momentum.
It happened last time as well. They got an easy possession, easy look out of it too.
Well, pressure will work only if you cover yourself on the backside. The Dons didn't do it that time. Carruthers tries to go to work and tries to get around Peterson, doesn't have it. Here's the back down, back outside to Carruthers. He'll come through, finger lay it up, nice block. And here comes Utah Valley. That was a good defensive play. Troyer feeds outside to Heck, back to Troyer. He'll try a 3. That's back of the rim, no good. Perkins with the rebound, or I should say Johnson with the rebound. It's taken away from him. Walker kicks back out of the corner to Troyer. That's a 3 ball, and we're close to having a timeout here. We haven't got it yet, but I would say one more possession like that, and Dane will be having the boys over for a talk, because this is now getting a little out of hand, and now it didn't take long to get that timeout. And we're going to have it, it's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Bill, it's again a little bit of a microcosm of what happened in the first half, where the Dons have some good success, and they just really don't have a situation where they're making a good shot.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Salam. Salam. Ewa.
Ride.
Mir. Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky. Come to.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La Fe.
around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Play back in here at the Coliseum, 14:41 to go. Dons trail it by 11. They have gotten a little slip shot on both ends of the court here in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and it has cost them. They had gotten this back to within 6, and things have gotten a little out of hand. They need to get it back together, and hopefully that timeout took care of that. Scott crosses over to Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius has a looking Glenn Love for Hawkins, who is spacing his man. Demetrius throwing a shot up way out of control, but he's bailed out on a foul. And who did we get that on? They didn't give us a real indication of who that foul was on.
I got to agree with Coach Hunsaker. I don't think it was a foul.
No, I don't. I think he was traveling.
Yeah.
But like I said, he got bailed out. And he missed the first one. Number 2. That one's good. 10-point game again. Backing off on the pressure of the Dons this time, and Bailey will bring it up without too much of a resistance. Talked to Troyer a little bit as he brought it up. Gives it now to Peterson. Here's Heck. Guarded there by Scott. Into the corner, Troyer. Quickly Hawkins over on him. Almost forces a turnover. They get it back outside. 17 to shoot, still plenty to go. Heck will try the 3-ball. That's front of the rim, no good. And rebounded out of there by Best. Save nicely to Johnson. Demetrius runs it into the forecourt. Goes in the corner. Here is Scott for 3. No good. Hawkins tries for the rebound. He is beaten to it by Peterson. Kind of hurried that one, but that was the shot that when the play was there, and they just didn't get the shot to drop. This is Peterson. Top to Heck. They give it off to Troyer. Back to Heck. Inside they'll go, and it is Walker up, and no good. The rebound on the floor. Pick back up there. Kick back outside. Troyer. This will be Bailey trying the 3-ball. That's no good. Tipped outside again, and this time it's tracked down by Scott, and the Dons have it. Johnson into the forecourt. Dons need to start making some moves here in a game that they are down 10 points in. Carruthers right side. Drives the baseline. Picked up out there and fouled. It'll be a common foul. But it'll be the 6th team foul on Utah Valley. So from here on in, the Dons are in the bonus. And they've only committed 2 team fouls. They got to make that work for them, though.
Real contrast to the first half.
Pat Lepper's set to check back into the game. Garrick's going to check back in as Carruthers comes out and Burrows comes out and now Hawkins comes out. So on the floor, let's see who we have. We have Demetrius Johnson, Lepper, Garrick. They're going in with a twin high post team here. They got both of the bigs in. Pat Lepper tries the 3-ball. No good. Rebound on the floor. Lepper tried to hustle it in, but that's taken away by Brady, and it'll be Utah Valley State with the ball. Dane Fife's telling him to spread it out a little bit as Troyer drives on the baseline inside of the lane. It's no good. Puts up, back up, and good. That's a great put back in there as Brady just out-hustled 3 Dons for the ball. And this is now a 12-point game, and I don't recall it being any more of a wider margin than that in this entire game. Burrows with a brief talking to comes back into the game, and Garrett goes out. And trying for the 3-point play here will be Jordan Brady, who is looking for his 7th point. And he has it. 13 points that the Dons trail by now, and they need to get business. 50-37. Scott looking in low for Burrows. Didn't have him because they had him fronted and backed. So Scott will bring it out. Give it to Johnson. Demetrius out there with Josh Olson on him. Gives it back to Burrows. Tries moving the baseline. Moves into the lane. Scoops up. Leaves it in. Nice individual move there. But if that smacked of any kind of an offensive flow, I didn't see it.
Exactly. Our offense is totally broken down. Our spacing is bad. There's no player movement.
Where it is quite the opposite on the other end.
Exactly.
Troyer.
Great spacing.
Heck has a man cutting. Had him beautifully. Shot is up and blocked. Nice defensive play there. And the Dons will have it. Now they got to make something happen with it. Here is Scott. Driving to the baseline. Cut off there. Goes back outside Johnson. 12:07 to go. Dons down by 11. Johnson to Lepper. Hasn't had. Best had position. Lepper just didn't see him. Johnson, right side. Now this is Burrows trying to get him moving. He sets a screen, sets a tough screen. Here's Best spinning in the lane, spinning again, puts it up, no good. A little bit out of control, and ball's just taken away. And now they almost throw it away. That was a great save. Utah Valley still holding on to the ball, but we have a 30-second timeout. That was a great save by Toulson. So they're going to take a 30-second timeout to talk things over. Dick Hunsaker has also seen his team get a little bit out of control here. This is a good move, Bill, to make sure that they don't lose this lead and lose the momentum that they've built in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Very good timeout. They're a disciplined team, and obviously Dick can't stand lack of discipline for both the defensive side or the offensive side. It was an excellent timeout.
Dick Hunsaker is a guy that has been all around the boat, and especially in this area, because he was at Ball State for a while, was over at Manchester for a while, coached the Fury here for a while,
Longtime assistant for Rick Majerus.
Yep. And one of the game survivors.
And it's good to see him back in Division I basketball.
Yeah, he's what they call good people. And he has a pretty good team that leads by 11. Toolson will trigger it in, and now Utah Valley will try and build on their lead. They have Josh Olson with the ball. Hands it to Heck. Troyer. Inside the look. They get the open shot. It's up by Brady. Blocked away, but a foul is called.
Dean, he is very undersized for a 3-4 man, but he just works his butt off. It's amazing.
Well, I'll tell you why he's decent. Look at that build on him. Exactly. You're not going to move him out. We have a timeout on the floor. 50-39 Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a moment.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you remember where you were? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To share your skills? To serve people you've never met? To do things you never thought you could? What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps, life is calling. How far will you go?
Well, we talked about it again in the pregame. 25 points off turnovers when they played at Utah Valley, and the Dons have given up 17 points off turnovers tonight, Bill.
It's the same trend, and it's just something that you can't win basketball games with that kind of deficit.
They've turned the ball over 12 times. Utah Valley will inbound with 11:27 to go and a 11-point lead. Here is a shot up and off the inbound by Toolson, and I believe that was a trip. Was a trip? That was a 2. So Toolson, who came in off the bench, has really started to toke it up now, and he has 10 points. Burrows outside to Best, who has spent an inordinate amount of time away from the basket. It might be the way they do things, but not what I've ever seen bigs are supposed to do. Now Demetrius Johnson loses the basketball, somehow saves it to Lepper. They had Burrows underneath, didn't get it to him quickly enough. Best to Scott. 7 to shoot. He'll lose control of the ball. He's going to have to get something up here pretty quick. Inside, Lepper has the shot off the nice tip in by Burrows. And they barely beat the shot clock on that one. But it got him back within 11 at 52-41. And for Burrows, that is his 8th point. Bombs away Tolson that is no good. Rebound on the floor, and Johnson has it. Kicks it ahead to Scott. He'll drive on the baseline. Puts it up over his man. No good, but he'll go to the line. Force the issue. That's good.
And with time running down here to 10 minutes, we're going to have to look to shoot the ball a little bit quicker than what we have, because obviously every possession is critical now, and they're going to run the clock very hard from their offensive side of it. Dick's been talking to his point guard here now during his timeout.
Well, they need to push the issue, which they haven't been doing, and that was a nice possession there where they actually pushed the issue, and Scott took it on his shoulder, said, we need to get some points. He puts his first free throw in. And DeWitt Scott knocks down the free throw for his 12th point. He'll have another one coming. He is the leading scorer for the Dons in this ball game. They have gotten 8 from Burrows, 6 from Carruthers, and 6 from Perkins. Everybody else 3 or less. DeWitt's had a pretty good shooting night. 4-6 from the field, and he's missed his first free throw. That's the first free throw he's missed. Burrows battled for the rebound, but he didn't get it away from Troyer. And now they move it into the forecourt with Olson. Nice cutting move there by Peterson. They didn't quite get it to him. Dick Hunsaker setting a great pick in front of us here. Having a little bit of trouble seeing. Here we go. There's Brady. On the move is Toolson. A nice baseline pass. Quick move out to Troyer. He'll bomb the 3. That's no good. All white jerseys around to get it, and Lepper's the one to grab it. Dons can cut it in with single figures if they can score this trip. They're down 10. Johnson gets a screen from Best. Comes to the right side. Has Burrows. Didn't get it to him in the lane. He'll throw the off-balance shot, and he's going to the line. They're pushing the issue.
We have to do that.
If you miss the shots, you're at least going to get the shots from the 15-foot unimpeded area with time not going off the clock. Exactly. 9:50 to go. So here Stands at the line, Demetrius Johnson with his first one. It's good. Demetrius on the year, a 73.8 free throw shooter. And he's got the Dons back within 9. He did not start as usual tonight, and he has just put in his 4th point. One more coming. And round and good. Okay, job has been doing that end the last couple of possessions. Now let's do the job down at this end, which admittedly the last couple of possessions they've done that as well.
We played 10 minutes and it's an even ball game.
They trying to feed in low, and they tried to go to Brady, and it was another one of those things where they keep coaching you. I can even remember when I was playing, bounce passes cannot be thrown right at the guy's feet. They will have no effect. Toulson, guarded out there by Scott, tries to fake over Scott, drives around Scott, spins on Scott, turns the fadeaway shot, back of the rim no good, rebound in the air, grabbed out of there by Garrett. Here comes Johnson with the ball. Dons can cut it to 6 this trip, 5 with the triple. Johnson gives it off to a Garrett, fakes his man with a nice ball fake, feeds inside Lepper, slide it away. Taken away by Toulson. Doesn't have the numbers, backs it out a little bit. Now feeds in low to Brady. He draws a double team, almost lost the ball, and they're going to call a foul. I think this is a little bit of a payback for the travel that was called a foul down on this end because he was traveling as well. So they are bailed out on one. Only the Dons' 15 foul, so it'll only be a common foul with the ball out of bounds. They'll look to inbound, and they'll get it. Toulson spins away from Scott, who has apparently been giving him to do it. Now he's drive around it. Whoa, what a beautiful reverse layup. That was a big-time move.
Kids' instant offense. It's amazing.
Toulson with his 14th point, and the lead's back to 10. Best had gone off for a little bit of a rest, and he's coming back in. Lepper will try the long ball. Back of the rim, no good. Rebounded out of there, one shot and out, and it'll be Peterson to bring it back up. Olsen with the ball. Inside 9 minutes to go, down by 10, 54-44. Olsen yo-yos between the rings, hands off. Peterson comes back with Olsen in the left side, had it inside, was looking to try to go to Brady, who was covered very nicely there by Egrick. Long bomb on its way by Olsen. With Olsen, it's no good. Rebound, Dons, and Johnson. Got to start making some things happen again on offense. Hawkins is going to check back in with Best at the next stop. Olsen leaves it inside. Here's Burrows, has the shot, blocked away, but he's going to go to the line. That's unfortunate because it looked like that one was going in. And I halfway was looking almost at a goaltend there. Didn't get it. But Deron Burrows will go to the line. 64% free throw shooter. Dons as a team came in tonight shooting 66%. Not great. Opponents are shooting 72.9. Burrows has the first. He has 9. Conversely, you go to the other side, and Utah Valley is shooting 74% as a team.
And what's interesting, Dean, is that the 8-man rotation, he really keeps everybody fresh. You know, they're playing 4 or 5 minutes, and they're rotating, and they look as fresh now as they did at the first part of the game.
Second free throw is good. Burrows comes out with 10 points, and Justin Hawkins checks in. He has hit that 3 ball in the first half, and that's been his only point. In fact, I believe it's the only shot he's taken all night. So the Dons back within 8. And Utah Valley with the ball, and Olsen on the right side. Finds to Peterson. Goes outside to Heck. Works its way back around to Olsen. He'll look for the open man. Heck runs into the corner. He'll move it in a little closer. Puts a shot up off balance, and they're going to call a foul on Hawkins, and I'm not sure he was doing a whole heck of a lot of stuff. What did they call? You think we're going to call ourselves officials timeout? We are calling an officials timeout with 7:52 to go here in the ball game. 54-46 Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in a minute.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Play back in here. The Dons trail it by 8, and this was a nice move inside that got a nice shot by Lepper, but the tip-in was even better by Burrows. So let's see what the Dons can do now. They're going to have to play some more defense after, go on offense after the free throws coming up here for Heck, who tonight has 7 points, and he's been 2 and 2 from the line. Good on the first. 9-point game. Dane saying, okay, guys, we're running out of time. We're going to get this record-breaking win. We must do some things correctly in a very short period. Heck's second shot, good. And it's a 10-point game again.
This is the type of team that's very hard to come back on because they give you nothing.
And they have been strong. Johnson going to move. He almost got a screen from Hawkins, who then tried to deliver it himself. Now gives it back to Johnson. 17 to shoot. To Carruthers, who's back in the game. He's bumped a little. Back to Hawkins. Carruthers left corner. Ball fakes. Goes back outside. Demetrius Johnson with the ball. Comes into the lane. Throws a flare. Nice lead off into Best for 2. That's probably the best executed offensive play of the night.
Tyler's first 2 points of the game.
Does that speak volumes? Can't have that out of her big. Brown. Peter Brown is in the game. I don't believe we've seen too much of him. Olsen picked up there by Demetrius Johnson, feeding down low to Brown. Cut off there beautifully. And we're going to call a timeout. Probably a 30-second timeout here, as that was pretty much a bailout call.
That was a bailout call, exactly.
And that's again where Dick Hunsaker's a veteran coach, knowing his guy was in absolute no man's land, and they were going to get them at best the turnover.
Exactly.
So good move there, but the Dons still need to make some things happen with 6:55 to go. The execution on that play is an indication of if you were able to leave a guy down, and here we'll see it again. Nice dish down low to Best, and if Tyler stays in there, you know, believe me, I'm not a coach, I'm a fan, but if your big is in there, that's going to be there.
Consistently.
Well, let's see what happens in the final 6:55.
Yeah, when the coaches go back and watch this on the film session tomorrow, they're going to go crazy with it.
Yeah, they'll go, Biggs, why are you 20 feet from the basket? But all that spilled milk, we got 6:55 to do something about it. Olsen will trigger. Has a man go down. Finally gets it off to Heck. Shot up, way off in an air ball, and it goes off somebody's knee. I believe it was off Lepper, as 3 guys went up to get it, and they all missed it. That's not what gets you back a little closer. So a good break falls Utah Valley's way, and they retain the basketball, but it never hit the rim, so now there's only 10 to shoot. Now we're getting some contact situations that Bo Borowski is in there talking with Joe Walker and Tyler Best about. Boys, don't be that friendly. Olsen takes the inbound, works out deep, works it in through a screen. It's open. Long bomb on the way by Peterson. That one is no good, and it goes out of bounds, and this one will go to the Dons. Well, we've been here probably at this point for about 3 or 4 minutes. 6, 8, 10, 6, 8, 10. And Bill, this can't be yo-yoing much longer. Time is of the essence.
No, and I think we need to get DeWitt Scott back in the game. We've got to look at good wide open threes and good squared up looks. And
I'm not sure you really have a guy outside of Carruthers when he's on that is really a good creator out there right now. Johnson feeds off to Lepper. Long bomb is no good. And really didn't have much arc on that one. And I know Lepper's a better shooter than that. And he usually gets a better look than that. This is Heck. Comes to the left side. Finds Peterson. Back out top, Heck to Olsen. Guarded by Johnson. Doesn't see and doesn't hit a cutting Brown, so back out to Heck. Brown sets him a screen. Doesn't use it. Sets him another one. He'll shoot over it. Back to the rim, no good. Oh, I think that's offensive goaltending.
Oh, agreed.
I cannot believe they didn't do anything with that one.
That ball was in the cylinder.
That's not good. But it does count, and it puts the lead back to 10. Best into the lane, coming down, scooping it up, no good, and he is pushed and fouled. And let's see who they give this one to. I gave that one to Jordan Brady. Fellas, if we can rack that one back up, I want to see that one again if we have a chance at the next stoppage. That was goaltending as much as I'm standing here. And I believe the situation is being argued by Dane Fife as we speak. And Paul Borowski is getting an earful. Tyler's going to have the free throw, and we will get that to you in just a minute so you can take a look. Tyler misses the free throw. He'll have one more. 5:44 to go. Can't let these opportunities get away. They've heard you. DeWitt Scott's back in the game, Bill. Lepper comes out. Dane's just not going to let this one go, and I really can't blame him. That was a critical bucket to let go. Second shot for Best, who only has 2 points tonight, now has 3. Here's the play. Here's the shot. You be the judge. Okay. Oh, I believe the hand was clearly over that rim. But it is spilled milk, as they say. He goes into Heck. His shot is no good. Rebounded nicely by Brady. He'll go up. He's short. Tip is up, no good. They're still battling for the ball. They get it one more time with Bailey. Another reset. Those guys are just attacking the boards on the offensive end. Toolson. 5:17 to go. The men in white are just not doing very strong on the offensive board. Here's a shot up and good. No good. And that one's rebounded by Hawkins, and the Dons need to push it up. Here's Scott. They came into him right away. They go low to Best. Tyler tries to back his man down, backs him down. Now he draws 2 people down, but puts it up and in, and he's going to draw a foul. That's what he can do. He's capable of that kind of stuff.
He's got to get in the blocks, though. Got to be in the blocks.
And he's strong enough. Even with a double team that time, he beat it. They dropped down 2 guys to try and stop him, and it didn't work. So they're down within 7 and can get back within 6.
Well, and if we do that, then, Dean, Tyler's a good passer. If they double down to him now, they're going to kick it back out to Scott or Carruthers and get a wide open 3 look.
That was Brady's 4th foul. He comes out. And Best with a chance to make it a 3-point play and a 6-point deficit. And it's there. And Tyler has 6, and the Dons are within 6 at 58-52. Okay, time for a stop, and the fans behind us are making the noise saying that they would like to see one too. This is Toolson. Goes to Troyer. Bailey has it. Heck feeds in low. Going to Walker. Is he going to back his man down? He is going to try it on Best. He's going to scoop over Best. Shot is up. No good. The foul will be on Best. He forced the issue. I mean, that's just a good one-on-one move. And he'll go to the line for 2. First foul on Best. Both teams long in the bonus. In fact, for Utah Valley, they're in the Dons are in the double bonus, though Utah Valley's well over the limit at 10. That was the 7th team foul on the Dons. So Walker will shoot the first one, and he got it. His 9th point. Walker on the year, not a good free throw shooter, right at 60%. But he was 1 or 2 there. Now the Dons down 7. Will try and make something happen here. Johnson into the forecourt. Bailey picks him up there at the circles. Scott, Hawkins goes to Carruthers. I thought he was gonna try and make a move. He had a little bit of an opening there, but he didn't take it. Johnson now between the rings, 14 to shoot for the Dons. Johnson fakes the shot, goes to Best. He's going to try and back his man down, back him down, put it back up. Tyler dicks in, puts it up, no good. Didn't get the bounce he wanted, and I'll tell you, Utah Valley almost lost that ball. Troyer came very close to bouncing that on the end line. 59-52. Well, as long as Tyler's been here, there has been so many heartbreaks with him on those close-in shots that sometimes just roll off. More often than you'd like to see. Toolson gives it to Bailey. He's guarded there by Johnson. 3:44 to go. Bailey comes all the way through the lane and a great offensive move. You gotta like that kind of play. 61-52. Bailey has his 5th point. Here's Demetrius Johnson, kicks it over to Hawkins for 3. That's short and no good. Hawkins trying to battle the rebound, gets it back. What a great hustle move. Here's Scott to Johnson. Best goes low, up into Johnson, good. Your point guard goes in to play the post. Whatever works. 61-54. Demetrius Johnson has his 7th point.
Got to get a stop here, Dean.
Toolson. Dons also have to apply a little more pressure than they're showing right now. Carruthers out there on Toolson. Gives to Heck. Scott's on him. Hands to Bailey. They're going to work some clock here. 2:49 to go. Hands to Heck. Back to Bailey left side. Demetrius on him. To Troyer. Hands back to Bailey. They're in a little bit of a weave now. The time is on their side. Toolson raveled. He sure did.
Good call.
Okay, now it's a 7-point game, and the Dons, I believe we're going to have ourselves the officials' timeout here. Yes, we do have the officials' timeout with 2:38 to go in the game. 61-54 Utah Valley. Back with more Mastodon basketball in a minute.
I guess I'm like most kids. I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's gotta feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
A college education should be more than textbooks and classroom learning. On this month's IPFW Up Close, we're going to focus on 2 very different but important aspects of a student's education. We'll talk with Professor Frank Balladino about his ongoing research with endangered leatherback turtles in Costa Rica. And we'll go in a completely different direction and get the inside scoop on intramural sports programs on campus and find out why they're so popular. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on CATV 5.
2 minutes, 38 seconds left to go in this one. The Dons trail at 61-54. They've been right at the brink, Bill, and have never been able to get over the edge to make something happen.
And like you said during the timeout.
Here's the Hawkins shot, and the great hustle play by him to get the ball back. We're not able to show the whole thing to you, but he just dove on the ball and got it back outside and set up a play where the Dons were able to get points out of it. And those are the things Justin Hawkins has been doing ever since he got to IPFW, and that they will miss next year sorely.
No question. And with 2.5 minutes to go, we got to be very efficient on half-court offense and use the and one as much as we can here with the old three-point plays as much as we can.
Keep pushing the issue. When they push the issue, they've been very successful. Johnson will cut, no cutting Smith. Now here is Best driving on his man, goes back outside. Here's the open shot for Scott for 3. Rims around, no good. It was in the cylinder and came back out. Rebounded out of there by Walker. Dane Fife wants a little bit more pressure. Oh, he's just beside himself that didn't drop, because that would have made it a 5-point game. That would have been as close as the Dons have been in the entire second half. Toolson out near the center line. Very close to going back court was Bailey, but he stayed him, kept his poise and didn't get that situation. Carruthers on him. Inside 2 minutes now. Don's really not showing much pressure. Heck with a bomb. That could be a dagger.
That was a big basket right there. Big 3.
Heck has 15. And the Dons are down 10. Demetrius Johnson, shot blocked out of there. Great play by Walker, and it was a good block. Carruthers off to Scott. Lost control of the basketball on himself. Now comes into the lane, shoots one up, and that's good. Walker couldn't get that one. Now it's an 8-point game. And we have this 30, or we got a full?
30.
We got a 30-second timeout. Well, you know, there have been so many places, and we've seen these in all the games we've done, Bill. There were, you know, you go back to about 2 or 3 plays that if the shot had fallen or the people had done the things on the defensive end to make the stop, or a ball had bounced the other way, these situations would have really been going well. Here is the play that we had with Scott falling down, moving on in, and putting a runner up that was not blocked. A previous shot had been blocked by Walker, and Scott just stayed with it. He has shown probably the best inside game I've seen him play all year.
Absolutely. But what's good about college basketball, you got a 30-point win by these guys when we played them at Utah. It's a very close game here. Could have gone either way tonight. A few shots here, a few less turnovers there. But just great college basketball game.
And the guys in white have got to take it to at least 2 more levels to get it done. Now they're really putting some pressure on. Carruthers bounces Bailey twice, 3 times. Finally is called on about the 3rd time he could have had a foul.
And
they could have gotten that about 2 or 3 seconds earlier.
They fouled the right guy. He's not a good free throw shooter.
And as quick as we say that, he'll probably bury him. It is an 8-point game, and Bailey to the line. He has 3 points. He has 4 points. And slowly but surely, the sand is falling through the hourglass in this one. Number 2 for Bailey. Good as well. And they're not going to press. And the Dons need to have a little bit more. Demetrius Johnson's letting the ball go so the ball doesn't take any more time, but I'm not sure that saves a whole lot. Now he comes in the lane. High dribble. Almost lost it. Gets it back to Scott. Scott on the move. Puts it up. Acrobatic shot is no good. Johnson tries for the rebound, and it goes to Utah Valley. And Dane wants some pressure. But, Coach, you're running out of time here. And I think that, look at the look at his face, he is very aware of that. Heck will inbound. Dons will pressure. Utah Valley not dropping anybody back on the long ball, which kind of surprises me. Gets it into Troyer. Dons keep applying the pressure, but it's not real tough pressure. Heck brings it into the forecourt, guarded there by Scott, draws the double team, gets it off to Toulson, who come back outside doing the curly kneel move. And this is going to take the time of. Dons need to foul. And they're going to keep moving it in, and we are inside a minute now in this one, and the Dons are in a little bit of trouble. In fact, I'm probably understating the issue. Foul is called. Tyler Best draws the foul, and they send Toulson to the line. And you want to talk about a guy you don't want to send to the line.
He's their scorer.
96.6% from the free throw line.
On the top of the nation. You know, Dean, we were talking in the break. I think this team is probably one big man away of being a very, very good tournament team. But they've got 3 games left, counting this game. If they win 22 games, they got a shot for the NIT bid.
They sure do. Toulson makes them both. He now for the year is 88 for 91 at the free throw line.
That's got to be one of the top 5 in the country.
You can't get much closer to perfect than that. Here's Scott. Here's Demetrius for 3. He got it. I'm not sure he was hit as hard enough to fall as far as he did, but he makes it a 9-point game, and there's 43 seconds to go, and quickly the Dons foul. And it's Carruthers on the foul, and there will be 2 shots awarded. Quickly on the scoring, Scott with 14, Johnson with 10, that's Demetrius Johnson, and Burrows with 10 to lead the Dons. Troyer with 14, Toulson with 14 off the bench, and Heck with 12, the double-figure scorers for Utah Valley. And Heck with those 12 goes to the line with another chance to add to them, and he got it. And they are 15 of 18 from the line. Dons haven't been bad. They've been 12 of 16. Believe it or not, Utah Valley is still under 40% shooting. That's deceptive. You would have thought they were higher than that. Heck hits them both. It's a 9-point game once again. Or it's an 11-point game, we should say. Here's Demetrius trying a shot, throws it no good, but he had Bailey in the air and he knew he had him, so he draws the foul, and Demetrius Johnson will step to the line.
That's a bad decision, and coach doesn't like it.
Even in a game that is well in hand, good coaches are coaching right to the end.
Right to the end. It's a great point. That's what's been interesting to watch Dick work here, is that every timeout, every possession, he's coaching everyone.
Well, and first shot is in and good by Demetrius Johnson. They're educators.
Exactly.
And you don't stop teaching at the end of the school day, do you?
Exactly.
You don't stop teaching at the end of the basketball game. Number 2 on the way for Demetrius Johnson. And he has 12. And the Dons will pressure 70-61. And the same thing is going for Dane. He's doing a little coaching out there too. He kind of knows this thing, but they got a guy through it. Great defensive move. We're going to call on. We're trying to have a little bit of a cool down here for Carruthers, who usually is a pretty cool customer. He's not a guy that usually has the temper situation, but he was the guy that had a release there to stop the layup, and he's the one that had to make Toulson work for it, but as the numbers we have stated just recently, Mr. Toulson doesn't miss too many. And he didn't miss 2 more. How do you improve on 96.6? Well, we just saw it. Here's Demetrius Johnson handing off to Scott. Here's Carruthers for 3. Front of the rim, no good. Almost tipped in. And there was a nice control. Now stolen away by Hawkins. He'll give it back to Demetrius. He'll put the shot up, no good, but he'll go to the line with 19.7 to go. Heck will draw the foul. And I believe that's it for him. Is that his 5th foul? No, I guess it's just 4. Johnson will drop the first free throw. His 13th point. 1 more and he can tie Scott for game scoring honors for the Dons and bring this back to a single-digit deficit. But horses left the barn. The barn is burning, folks. 19-7 to go. And Utah Valley leads by 9, 72-63. And no pressure, and they're going to let this one just run out. As it runs out, Tyler Best with some handshakes. Josh Olson gets the handshake, the coach's handshake, and this one comes to a close. Utah Valley 72, IPFW 63 is your final. Back with more Mastodon basketball in just a minute.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes, and many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Warning, ruthless invaders are among us, and the future of fishing depends on stopping them dead. Only you can prevent invasive species from spreading before it's too late. Inspect, clean, and drain your boat, motor, and live wells, and properly dispose of invasive species on land, not back in the water. Stop these evil menaces from taking over and threatening our precious outdoor heritage. Inspect, clean, and drain. Do your part to halt the silent invasion.
The crowd files out of the Memorial Coliseum after watching Utah Valley State get their record with their 20th win of the season. 72-63 the final over IPFW. And Bill, it was a situation where they may not have shot well, but it was the only thing they didn't do well.
To only have 7 turnovers in a game, in a Division I game, it was hard fought as this game was, is terrific. And again, typical Dig Hunsucker Dame, they don't do anything to beat themselves. They play great offensive games with a great screen in the half court, great spacing, and they make you work for every shot you get on the half court on the defensive side. So my hat's off to them. I think they're a tournament potential team. If they can win 2 more games and have 22 victories in the season, this is an NIT team.
They don't do anything to get themselves in trouble, and if they make a mistake, they don't make it a second time. The 7 turnovers is one thing. In all honesty, the Dons did a good job of handling the basketball as well. 13 turnovers themselves, and it was just a situation where they didn't have the stops when they needed them, and they didn't have the things that they needed to have happen at all the right times. And after a short time in the locker room, Jeff Tungate joins us, assistant coach of the IPFW Mastodons. And Jeff, as we look at this one, it was inconsistency that did you in the night.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, at times we made some key defensive stops. At times we gave up some easy layups. I think the other thing is offensively, a lot of times when they start to pressure us, we just stood. And when you stand on offense, it's easier to pressure and climb into you. We got to do a better job of moving. And like you said, consistency. At times we showed flashes of being good, and at times we weren't very good.
All right, you have a situation here, and we made mention of it. Your bigs paid an inordinate weight and a lot of time away from the basket. And when they played in close, you got some things accomplished. But they kept freelancing a little bit. Did that get your attention as well?
Yeah, it did. And the thing, they did a really good job in the first half, especially of taking away our post game. I thought they did a really good job of just hard having and really making it hard for us to get the ball inside. And when we had a tough time getting inside, we started coming out and just they really took us out of our rhythm. I mean, they did a great job of taking us out of rhythm in both halves, and whenever we're not scoring at the offensive end, we don't do a real good job on the defensive end either.
Coach, I know you've been looking all year long for point guard leadership. It seems like Chris will get into a rhythm sometimes and it'll revert back to thinking about just the offensive side of things. Yeah, how bad is that really hurting you now, trying to get your offense started?
Well, I think Chris will show spurts. Like we talk about consistency factor. First half, I thought early Chris was very good and Demetrius was really bad. I thought the second half, Demetrius was pretty good and Chris was bad. So we've got to get consistency out of that position, and those guys are capable. But I thought tonight at that spot, I thought we got about 20 to 25 good minutes out of that position, and we need 40.
This is a very good team. Very good team you played tonight.
No question. I mean, they're a 20-win team, and I mean they're a very, very good team, and and we lost by 30 at their place. But at this point of the season, we got to be beyond moral victories and trying to come back. I mean, at home you got to control your home court. We started a nice little home winning streak going, and that's something we've got to sustain and do. But they're a very good team, and Coach Hunsaker does a great job with that program, obviously, and they're very, very disciplined in what they do, and they execute their offense very well. But more importantly, they really guard you on the defensive end. That's what makes them good.
You also have a situation here that we didn't see you in the locker room very long tonight. So what did they tell the kids? There wasn't much to say, was there?
No, I mean, this time of year, what do you say? I mean, we've got to be ready for Saturday. I mean, that's something that we've got Saturday's senior night, and we've got to be ready to go on senior night and get ready for Saturday. Well,
we won't belabor the point. You get to that, I'm sure. Jeff, thanks for coming out as usual.
Thank you.
And Jeff Tungate joins us as
Coach.
usual after every Mastodons home game when we are broadcasting to give us a little bit of an insight. There wasn't really much you could say about this one. I wasn't going to leave him out there and just say, okay, what was wrong with this, what was wrong with this. We hit the 2 or 3 points. They just didn't play well.
Exactly. We're 25 games into the season. It's a situation whereby they know what has to get done, and we just turn the ball over too much. When you look at the shooting percentages, we were very close to what they did, but they had 7 turnovers, we had 13. Those 6 possessions were the difference in the ball game. So.
Well, when you look at there were isolated moments, unfortunately more isolated than we would have liked them to be, but there were times tonight where the Dons were a very good basketball team. He mentioned the fact, and I think he was being generous, 25 minutes of good point guard play. Right. I think they had a little bit more of a struggle with that. But here's a little bit of an indication. Look at this ball movement, and they were just flashing to points. There's a jump shot there that worked down, and the Dons, they did some nice things as well. This was that good hustle play in the second half that got DeWitt Scott a jumper on the baseline. But more often than not, they were getting plays off their offense without their offense being run. And on a regular basis, you cannot do this, and especially when the other team is flashing to the ball, getting their guys open, and hitting shots, much as we're watching right here where the guys in yellow all night, they found a guy open, and a guy in white was a little late getting over there to get it done. And this is pretty much, in these 2 minutes or so of highlights, a really good indication of why one team had 72 and the other one had 63.
Yeah. Dick Hunsaker's a great coach. He knows what it takes to get to tournament level and to build NCAA Division I programs, and I think it's a tribute to what he's done out there. This is a very good, solid basketball team. I think can make NIT if they get one more victory. But at the same time, if you look at the progress that Dane's made in the last 2 years of building a foundation to last for a long time here, I think we've got a solid foundation in place. We're 1 or 2 players away, we're 1 or 2 opportunities away, and some consistency of 5 or 6 minutes a game to really be a difference of having a winning program.
We just saw the drive by Toulson, which I thought to my mind was the great play of the game, that reverse layup he put in inside. I'm sorry, I don't think too many guys can go out there and hit 97% of their free throws. This guy is just effortless, and he must have a role coming off the bench because for my team he starts.
Yeah, when we spotted that early where he's averaging 25 minutes a game, but he's their leading scorer at 15 points. Didn't come in the game tonight until the 14-minute mark, but exactly when they set him up tremendously with slow down screens, and he's a shooter, and they know that if he can get the and one situation, he's going to knock down that free throw.
And what we're watching here is you're seeing, just had Bailey, the point guard, come through and hit a shot. He's not a guy in a great hustle play there by Hawkins, which I thought might have been the best Dons play the whole night. You cannot find one guy and say, okay, this guy isn't going to beat us on this team. I didn't see that out there at Utah Valley tonight.
No, they've got 8 guys that play a lot of minutes and very consistent, and they've only got 2 guys in double figures, but the rest of them average anywhere from 5 to 8 points, and they give you. And Dick does a great job of rotations. Every 2 or 3 minutes, he's subbing guys to keep them fresh. And again, I think they're one big man away of playing at a very high level at Division I.
Well, you're seeing some really good plays here, some plays that weren't working very well, and the Dons, again, had a situation where they just didn't get things done. Toulson, the leading scorer for the Wolverines, with 16 points, and again, he didn't play the entire game. They have substituted him out here. Heckentroyer with 14. All three of those guys played well. Scott, again, off the bench with 14. Johnson, 14. Most of that in the second half when, as Jeff Hunsaker said, he played his best ball. And Burrows, a little inconsistency inside, but had 10 points. The three guys in double figures for the Dons, who for the night shot 41.2%. And Utah Valley winning a game in which they shoot less than 40% speaks volumes, as we've said before earlier in the broadcast, of how they do just about everything else well to offset that.
No question. They got 7 more shots and those 6 turnovers.
Gentlemen, can we take another break? We're going to do that, and we'll be right back.
Good job. Enjoyed it.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, buns.
And CDs.
Way to go. Buns, flattering,
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Each year, more than 145,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colon cancer. It's the second largest cancer killer in the United States, but it doesn't have to be. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and if found early enough, beatable. If you are over 50 or have a family history of colon cancer, speak to your doctor, get screened, and understand your treatment options. Heads up, Coach.
Visit mybluestar.org and pass it on.
Back here for the final time at the Coliseum, Dean Pantazzi and Bill Hensley, where the Dons lose to Utah Valley State tonight, 72-63. Bill, you made a comment, and I wanted to get back to. Let's get to the final stats first on the team. Real field goal percentage, not really strong for either team. Much worse for Utah Valley, but when you do everything else well, you don't have a problem, especially when you hit 18 of 21 free throws, commit only 7 turnovers, and Dons out-rebounded them 34-33, but as you pointed out, and as we wrap this up, they're one big man away from being a very good team.
No question. And again, we've made tremendous progress on the Don side of it. I hope Saturday night we can get a lot of fans out here and show the support for these 3 seniors that have really helped us build a foundation here for an outstanding Division I program.
We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here. Again, the final score tonight, 72-63 Utah Valley over IPFW. For Bill Hensley, I'm Dean Pantazzi. We are glad you could have joined us.